Hi everyone, this is Anna here from the band Mezmerized, and I'm here to tell you that we will have a great live chat with them. So come join to the group and let's have a great chat together. We will be talking about the band, our upcoming album, and our upcoming single that is called Cyanide. And it's featuring Judy 6 of Amaranthe. So come join the group and let's have a great chat together. Bye!
Hello everyone, our special guest, we have Mezmerized.
Hey guys!
Hi guys!
Hello guys!
So how's the weather in Dublin?
Well, today it's a bit sunny. Normally we have rain, but today it's sunshine. And how is it in Hungary?
No.
Super hot.
Yeah. In one word, it's almost terrible, but yeah, you can get used to it. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, it depends, you know.
Yeah.
Because when it's winter, I have problems with that sometimes, and then it's summer, and then it's too hot, so it's cool.
So before we go dive deeper into Mezmerized and the new single that you just released a few hours ago, first of all, Mezmerized was just founded in 2019. So can you give a little bit information about the band itself?
You start, yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Ladies first.
Yeah. Well, we started the band almost a year ago, and we just, we had the idea about what we wanted to do. So we just started to work right away last August, and our first song was released in last October. And then from there, we just continued, working and releasing more and more singles because we saw that was the way to go. And actually, that's actually what happened. So we could, keep the plan alive, and we released more and more songs. And we started to work with Blood Plus distribution this year. So right now we release our songs through them, which is amazing. And, we love working this way because they take care of our online releases, and we can keep a lot of things in our hands. So this is what actually happened in the last year. And right now we are working on our first album, which is going to be released in September. So we are still in the working process, but this is the main thing that is happening right now.
Yeah.
And the new album is Electrolyze. It's called like this, or?
Electrolyze, yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Cool, so it's something to check out when it's released.
Yes. So can you tell us a bit, you are two now and you have more members. You have two more members on the band?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, are all from the Hungary?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it's
basically a Hungarian band.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit about the other members?
Well, we have a drummer and a bass guitarist in the band, so it's a four-member band. Yeah. Well, it was, it's always, in the beginning, it was like we started to work, the two of us, and then later, of course, the members join, and this is how it is now. So, but basically the music writing is on us, so we do it. And
okay.
But we have two other super talented guys. The bass guitarist, as mentioned on our Facebook page, is a guy called Gábor Rónai.
Yes.
Super talented guy, super cool guy. You can see him in two of our videos already.
Yes.
Because he joined us this year, actually. We did not have a bass guitarist back in 2019. So he joined us in this year. And the drummer guy, we chose not to reveal him yet.
Okay.
We work with a different drummer from last November, and decided that he did not want to work with us anymore. Super talented guy, but he was trying to go to a different direction. We wanted to go to another direction, and that's fine. That shit happens.
Yeah.
So, but we just want to wait with the announcement.
To be sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
A super cool guy, the new guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super talented.
Okay. So you will stay for this band. You will not add one more maybe person to be.
Nope.
No.
It's just four of us.
No.
Oh, great stuff.
Interesting, something to look forward. So, Mezmerized, you said that you started in 2019 and so on. And before that, were you in a band or you did something else?
Well, I had a band before Mezmerized. Well, actually, yeah, it was a different band. I was doing symphonic metal with that band. And we had some great tours, and we had an album which was released in 2013. And after that band, when I finished that band, I didn't even finish it. So we were active, let's say active until 2017, something like that. But after that, I started to work with another Hungarian band. But that was a shorter period of time. That was also like kind of symphonic metal, folkish metal, hard to say. But it was also a super cool thing to do. And I left the band actually in 2019. Not before, but at the same time, basically almost when we released our first song. But they are super cool, and they are still working with another singer. So yeah.
Okay.
You?
Basically, I haven't actively played in a band since like 2011, something like that. I had a band back then from like 2007 to 2011, I guess. Yeah. It was more like a stoner southern metal band, and I was the lead singer and lead guitarist of the band. So it was really different, but had some elements back there already.
Interesting. So what was the name of the band, Oliver, that you just know?
It was called Rustland Tales.
Also Hungarian?
Yep.
And
you, Anna?
The first band was called Soronia. It was a Hungarian band. And the other band was called Ideas.
And you stopped with the other band, Ideas, because you had Mezmerized, or?
No, actually, it was more like we were living in different cities, and it was really, really hard, always traveling for rehearsals and stuff like that. So we decided it was better for them and for myself, if we worked separately. So that was the main reason, actually. But they are a really great band. We played together in 2019 on Hungarian festivals. So yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. So, and that's quite a switch from symphonic metal to what you're doing now.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, but it was also that is the reason why I always have to think how things happen. But the first idea was, to turn Soronia into this more modern metal style. But in the end, I decided not to do it because all those people who followed Soronia back in the day knew the band as a symphonic metal band. So we decided not to turn the band into a different direction, but start a new band.
I can imagine that for me, I listen to symphonic metal and suddenly if you get another album like Electric, it's very different, style. It's totally, like mentioned, a totally different group of people.
Yeah. But it was also another period in my life. I really loved doing it. It was absolutely different because you have to use a different vocal style for the singing, and but actually it was quite easy for me, to change to this more modern style. We had great shows back in the day, so I have a lot of experience coming from Saronia, and that's really, really good and helpful right now.
Certainly, I will have a look at the other band just to see like the difference and how you evolve. That will be like interesting to hear the other band as well.
Yeah, you can find songs and even live footage on YouTube. So.
We are going to have a look. And guys, how you came with the name Mezmerized? How you came up? Who came up?
Pretty much. I remember, and I actually flew to Finland one day.
Yeah.
Like in last July.
Yeah.
Right?
It was a year ago. Yeah.
With his mom.
Yeah. It was like, just traveling and stuff. And I got a message from Oliver because we already had, the idea for the band, but it was not that, we didn't figure everything out yet. And I got a message from Oliver that he had an idea for the band name.
Yeah, I don't know how I got it. Basically, it just sounded cool, and I started to just see and hear things into the name, and I just liked it and sent it to Anna. Hey, what do you think about it? And she said, no, that's
like,
fine.
That's cool. We were thinking about, using the word without, originally it was Mezmerized.
Yeah.
But then we decided to use it with the D because it sounded better, and I don't even know.
Yeah, and with the Z.
And with the T because it was more modern, know.
Yeah. The logo actually looks better this way, so.
Well, it's more, it's modern and.
Okay, You had other names? You had other names, like before Mezmerized?
I'm pretty sure we had, but I honestly don't remember.
No, I think just, threw in ideas, like checking for what could sound cool and because
cool and easy.
Like what word could describe the music and the lyrics we are, creating, but it was like in the end, like we would need a cool word that sounds great and people can remember.
Actually, I just remember the original version was with the decent spelling, like MES, in front, and I was like, that's a bit too symphonic, mellow. So why don't we just do it with the Z instead?
Yeah, it's easy in the end. I mean, when I started to do this like modern style, but it was a big change from symphonic metal, and you have to do things differently, and I had to learn how to take everything more easily, I would say.
Okay. Good. Good start.
So, can you tell us more about the debut album Electrolyzed that's coming in September?
Well, it's going to contain 12 songs, that's for sure. And the pre-order for the album is going to start early August. I would say that's the plan, at least for now. Maybe a little earlier. We'll see about that.
Somewhere in the beginning of August.
Yep.
Let's say, and you could already hear songs from that album because all the singles we released previously are gonna be on the album. But of course, there are 6 other songs people couldn't hear. Yeah. So there will be surprises still because there will be more like I would say American style songs, slower songs, other like similar style songs than we released. So there will be a lot of different mixes still, but of course all in this electronic metal sound.
I mean, I believe as a relatively new band, we can just, get away with the whole releasing singles kind of approach, because usually even bigger bands release at least 2 or 3 singles before they actually release the whole album. Well, we released 6. And I think we can do that because we're still upcoming, still kind of fresh, still kind of new.
That's a new way to go.
Yeah, and it kind of looks like it is actually, yeah.
No, actually, we were thinking about, in the beginning, like how many singles we should release. But the thing is that you cannot, I mean, we didn't want to start like releasing 1 or 2 singles and then stay silent for half a year and then release the album. So we were like, we still needed time, of course, to finish everything. So we were like, why not releasing singles? People can hear more from the music, so they can decide whether they like it or not, and what's the worst thing that can happen. So that's the reason why we decided to release that many singles.
As far as I know, we pretty much stick to the plan as we planned back in last October. So we were like, we are probably going to release the album next year during autumn. So
that's the way I like working. Like we have a plan and we stick to the plan, because that way you can do things the way I believe it works. But because many times you can see bands like releasing stuff and then have a big silence, and then suddenly again something happens, and I didn't want to do it that way. So.
Yeah, that's like poking, are you still alive or is something happening? Indeed, you forget about the album and so on. And like since March you started with poking with singles, with new stuff and so on, and since then I'm like, oh yeah, it's coming in September, something there. So it really helps you to remind, and it's getting the band to know. I think it's a good approach, especially for Mezmerized.
Cool. So you have a new album in September, and is there any concept behind this album?
We had some planned. Those were basically thrown into the trash. So due to this whole pandemic situation, we are hoping that they can be rescheduled. But right now, our plans usually go to as far as next spring.
Well, yeah, of course, it's again, you have plans, but it depends what you can do and what you cannot do in this situation. So, but we definitely want to keep the thing that we want to go on tour, and we want to play in as many places as we can, because that's again a different thing for people. So that's one thing, they can listen to the music online, and the other that they can see you play live. So we definitely want to make that happen as soon as we can.
We originally planned a shorter tour leg for October and November this year, and that's just gone. That's canceled. So we are trying to reschedule it.
No. Maybe you couldn't hear me very well, but I say concept, but you say concept. It's okay.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, but it's okay. We had the question also about this, and you had the plan to tour in Hungary first, or
some shows in Hungary, but mainly in Europe, Central and Western.
And is there any concept behind the album?
I wouldn't say like concept.
I mean, you had a lot to say about, personal stuff.
But that's how I write my lyrics, like all those experiences and feelings I had in myself. Those are the things I write about. So mostly you could, if you really want to find a concept in the lyrics, you could find like similar feelings and similar stuff in the lyrics, but I wouldn't say those are like planned concept there. It's just how I write my lyrics about.
And from a musical standpoint of view, it's really like a chemistry class, you know. Just grabbing one thing and adding to another thing, and just waiting what is going to happen. And that's it. I mean, the main thing about this album is we wanted to have fun, and whatever it takes to have fun, we did it.
Yeah, and also, of course, the style of the songs. There is like similarity, but of course you can find a lot of differences here and there in the song. So I would say it's not like you start in the beginning and you know what's next, because it's not gonna be like that. But of course there are similar styles.
I mean, there was concept behind the single releases. We tried to release a single and then release a different one.
Yeah.
And that sounds relatively different, at least.
Oh yeah, the feeling.
Yeah, and the different feel to it.
And do you have other surprises with collaborations?
No.
No more surprises. At least not for this album.
No, we have plans again.
Yeah.
For maybe for the next album. Yeah. But this wasn't actually planned.
No, not at all.
With GG6, it was like we started to work on the song, and it was like it would sound really great with rolls in it. It was like we could ask Henrik from Amaranth, because his voice would be perfect.
Jokingly, you said, we could ask GG6. I was like, yeah, why not? Yeah.
And then I asked him, and then I just sent him a message like, he said okay. And he was like, what?
Yeah, we went with it. So it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah. No, Henrik was super cool about it, actually. And did a really great job. And as far as I know, this was the very first recording that he did in his own home studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing.
Great.
Now we are looking at Mezmerized, and you described your band as modern metal. So, according to you, how did metal evolve during recent years, and what future may it hold?
Wow, that's a really great question. I mean, musically, it definitely got more aggressive, heavier, you might say. A lot of down-tuned guitars, a lot of electronics. I mean, to me, that's what modern metal is.
It's definitely how I would say it's a new thing. It's of course a lot of bands play modern metal, but we were like, why not to mix our style into this more modern way of metal, because that's still relatively new, I would say. So metal, of course, everything changes as time goes by, and so the music changes, and I would say even the people who listen to metal change their opinion as time goes by. So I would say that's a relatively new way of metal, this modern style, and then I would say people are still interested in these things.
Yeah, and I mean, it's hard to me to describe our music. So modern metal, that's all I can say about it. I can't say any subgenre. I mean, we have elements of like classic heavy metal.
Yes.
Solos are definitely hard rock and heavy metal influenced mainly. So, maybe just a teeny bit symphonic metal.
I wouldn't say symphonic metal, but people don't like to hear like pop elements in
The
metal,
pop, yeah.
but still in the in the vocal lines you can find those pop sounds, maybe I would say.
And in the electronic parts as well. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
No.
I mean, if it sounds good and it adds to the music, I'm fine with it. I actually like it. So.
But if you look, I think if I look at modern metal and so on, I think there are two different streams. Like you said, aggressive, but also like the electronic one that it divides a little bit. Like death metal is a little bit like different. We have now new metal, or I don't know how you call Impact Rain. What's the music like? You go a little bit like electronic, like a little bit clean, and then very aggressive. So for me, it's like two ways, and I think like Mezmerized is leaning towards electronic, clean vocals, and so on.
Yeah, it's more like that.
Yeah, but well, actually, we don't plan to use, more growls in the music. So that was like I wouldn't say one-time thing, but for this album, definitely a one-time thing. Oliver also sings backing vocals, and there might be one song where he will sing some lead vocals as well. But the main thing here with us is the clean female vocals. So we don't really want to change that.
Yeah.
And that's something like, of course, there are a lot of bands, with female vocalists. But here in this modern metal style, we could hear many different things. And that's the reason why we started. We don't want to mix more vocal styles here. We want to use the female clean vocals with this more aggressive and electronic music. So
yeah, that was pretty much the plan from the get-go.
Yeah, so going the clean way.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing wrong with growls. I mean, I do know I love growls. But Mezmerized was definitely something we wanted to tend to a cleaner female vocal style.
Yeah, it's like picking a target group and aiming towards with music and so on.
Yeah.
So you said before that you have the most, hard job like music and lyrics. You do both of you, eh?
How was that? Sorry?
You music and lyrics, you do both of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lyrics is mainly Anna, and music is mainly me.
Yeah. We put these things together. I write my own vocal lines to the music he writes. So and it's of course always different how it happens. First, sometimes I have the lyrics first, and then we start working on the music. But mostly it's first the music and then the lyrics. So.
Sometimes it's a title and the music and the lyrics.
We have like Cyanide. Oh, it sounds great. That word sounds great, and it could be a great title. And okay, I'm gonna write lyrics to it.
The story behind Cyanide is we did not have all the songs yet when we came up with the idea of Cyanide, and we were like, we don't even have the title back then. We knew that for the last song of the album, we want something really, really heavy and really, really speedy. I would say. And all right, and I just started jamming out on the guitar, trying out some electronic stuff, and we came up with the title Cyanide, and then basically just wrote itself. The song wrote itself. It took us like 3 days from zero to basically a complete song.
Yeah, but it's basically when I wrote to Henrik, about this cooperation, we didn't even have like the whole song ready. Like we had some parts of the song and we knew it's gonna be Cyanide and stuff like that, but it wasn't finished yet. And then when he said okay, he was like, okay, send me the demo. And we were like, okay, we have to finish the demo first and then send it to him. So
yeah, I mean, it was a raw demo, so almost ready to show it to Henrik, but we had some work to do with it.
Yeah.
And we were still very rough when we sent it to him. So that was really hard for them to work with it, but
well, he could hear the really demo of the song.
Yeah.
So it's always different, of course, listening to a demo song than the finished material. Of course, it's different. But
I had to do the growls, just to give it some idea how we want it to sound like.
Great. And do you have any song? All songs are in English, huh?
Yeah.
You don't have any song in Hungarian?
No.
No?
And I always say, like, Hungarian is a really, really beautiful language, and it's really, really hard to translate Hungarian lyrics to English, for example, because you cannot really translate it. That's actually what happens, because it's really, really hard. There are a lot of symbolism and a lot of expressions, for example, for one word. And so it's almost impossible. And for example, the music we do, it would sound strange in Hungarian.
Okay.
For some reason, it would just no.
There are some Hungarian bands that sound pretty fucking cool, singing in Hungarian, but honestly, there are very few.
Yeah.
It's to me that sounds actually good.
And not every style can work well with Hungarian lyrics for me. I don't know why. It would sound really stupid even, this kind of style, what we do. It would sound so, I don't know what's the word, but it would sound strange.
Maybe folk would be nice.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I know Darliada.
Huge favorite for both Anna and me.
Absolutely.
Great band.
Great, absolutely.
Yeah,
fantastic,
absolutely. And folk music and folk metal music sounds the best in its own language. So.
Yeah, great.
Interesting. So the single Hybrid premiered 3 April, but it was during the lockdown. So was it hard to shoot it?
No, I wouldn't say hard. It was just more exciting. It was different. All our music videos had different concepts behind them, and all shootings had a different feeling to it. So I love, video shootings. You have to be really focused on what you are doing, and it's really tiresome, actually. But it's always super cool, to see your ideas turn into a finished material, and it's always really, really exciting. And for example, hybrid shooting was really different from shutdown shooting or desire shooting. All of those had a different feelings to it, but all of them were really easy, actually, and like under 6 or 7 hours we were done with all of them, and I think all those turned out really, really great.
All of them we had the plan and the concept, so that's why it went really smooth all the time.
And what feelings were expressed in hybrid, for example, or?
Well, hybrid was more than, we had the song, of course, finished, and we were talking about the concept for the video, and I remember that you said that you wanted something like a little nightmare kind of feeling, into the video, like it feels like you are dreaming when you are looking at it, but it's not a kind of good feeling dream. It's more like a dark and a little bit kind of nightmare feeling, and of course the lyric for the song isn't about that, but the whole feeling of the song when you are listening to it, it's a little bit like dark and
I wanted to do a unnerving song, and I wanted to do an unnerving music video too. And the director guy, who is a good friend of us, Balázs Gerocs. It's hard even for me. He did an amazing job.
But he's the first music video for Soronia back in the day in 2012, we worked with Balázs back in the day, and he just had like a small camera and he was alone, and he didn't say a thing. I remember that shooting, he was like very strict and he didn't say much, and I was like afraid of him. Really, it was really strange, and it was the first music video I ever worked on, and the result was amazing back in the day already. And when we started to do Mezmerized, I instantly was thinking about him and working with him, and I wrote to him, and of course he was into it, and it was really different. When we started to work with him in Mezmerized, he was absolutely open-minded and he was talkative, and we could, you know, share all our ideas, and it was really, really good.
Yeah, he's an all-around super cool guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, communication is like.
At some point we had to decide, all right, so are we going to do this seriously?